So we have our first real Magic Origins spoilers. But I'm going to go through the art as well first, since I haven't really done that. And once again, I use magicspoiler.com to check this stuff out. So I can recommend going there as well. But this is for Magic Origins, of course. I believe I already said that. But nonetheless. So this is some Liliana pre-Walker art, which we will see her card here in a second. And then Liliana after her spark's been ignited. So that is a very cool art. And then we have Jace down here. The assumption being that this is Jace pre-Walker, and this is him after he got his spark. And then we have her first card for Liliana, the Heretical Healer, and Liliana, the Defiant Necromancer. Now, in her Heretical Healer form, she's a 2/3 lifelink. And whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile Liliana, then return her to the battlefield, transform under her owner's control. If you do, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. So, one thing I think is important to note about this is that right away it's another transform card, just like Innistrad Days, which is very cool. But also that it is something that a lot of people who, including myself, even though I didn't really say anything, expected it to be the Spark card, basically, where you get what they look like before, and then they transform into they get their Spark, and then transform into a Planeswalker, which is so cool, so cool. And one thing you can note is that one of the creatures dies and then she gets her spark, and then you get a zombie. So we can assume that either someone close to her dies in Magic Origins, or we can assume somebody, maybe she doesn't, well, it's got to be somebody close to her, but either somebody she loves or somebody who does her wrong, a mentor. Just so much speculation that can be put into that, and it's just really cool. Very Vorthos card, I gotta say. And then we'll move on to her. Oh, I guess I can read it right here just fine. I'll move down here just so you can read it if you'd like. Oh, well, that was a mess up. So you can pause it and read it if you like. I'm going to go back up here and read it. So it is a +2 for each player discards a card. Really, really good power right there. Sure, you have to discard a card as well, but you know, forcing your opponent to do it is always much worse for them. -X for return target non-legendary creature card with converted mana cost X from your graveyard to the battlefield. You get an emblem with, or her ultimate is -8. You get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, returning to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So this is a combo in itself if you just have 2 of these, if you think about it, because you can play a Liliana and then play another Liliana, and then it dies and she flips, and then if you have this emblem, which would be nuts, you can bring her back and then play a third Liliana. I don't know, something crazy like that, but, you know, just in itself, the emblem is very, very good. And the card itself is very good as well. A 2/3 with lifelink for 3 is always very decent. So very good, but the fact that it transforms and you get a 2/2 zombie to boot, now that is a good card. I'm very excited to see the other Magic Origin cards and all of their sparks. We can assume that we don't have it right here, but there is a Gideon. Let me go see if I can find it real quick, but if not, we'll just end up right back here. There is a Gideon in like Theros looking gear. So let's see if that and there's a lot of quote unquote proof that it is potentially that he's already been on Theros. So we'll come back to that in a second, and if I can find it, I will show it to you. If not, I'll go over it just right here. So I found the art, and so we have Gideon pre-Walker and Gideon post-Walker, and this is some almost clearly Theros type armor. And there is a card, Desperate Stand, which is a red-white that refers to Kithian Iroa. something like that along that line. And it's just a little too close to Gideon Jura if you look at it, especially in Greek. And it just looks too much like Theros, so we can speculate that Gideon Jura is for sure from Theros, which would be super cool. And he also was a part of something called Heliod's hold on. It was the something of Heliod, which, if you've seen Mark Rosewater's thing, somebody asked if that was a little too close to Heliod, and Heliod shouldn't have been renamed, and he replied with, you were assuming that the two aren't related. So there you go, a little speculation there on Gideon being from Theros as well. So if you enjoyed this video, just be sure to leave me a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think about Origins speculation, what you think about Origins, and pretty much all that good stuff. What you're excited for. I know I'm mostly excited for Gideon, as well as Nisa a bit, because I do like Nisa well, she's kind of stupid, but I kind of like Nisa anyway, so whatever. So I'm excited for mostly Gideon, though, especially as a creature. It has me super psyched. So I just want to thank you all for watching. Remember, leave a like and subscribe. Also, I want Gideon to be for 2 white mana and 1 colorless to be a double striker, because that would make my life complete. And as always, have a hell of a week. Now somebody hit my music.